Danny lived alone in a small, dim apartment at the edge of the city. Once upon a time, he had been a promising boxer, a man built with strength and determination, feared inside the ring. But drugs and poor choices dragged him down, and with one lost title, his dreams shattered. The man who once stood tall as a champion now carried only his scars, his regrets, and a reputation that made people avoid him. By day, Danny wandered the neighborhood looking for odd jobs that rarely lasted. By night, he worked as a bouncer at a bar, using his fists to throw out drunks and troublemakers. To most people, Danny was a man to fear, short-tempered, cold, and broken. One evening, on his way to work, Danny walked down the cracked sidewalk with a sandwich in his hand. The night was quiet until he heard a small sound, a faint meow. Out from under a car stepped a tiny stray cat, thin and trembling, its ribs showing through its dirty fur. Danny stopped in his tracks. He could have ignored it just like the world had ignored him, but something in those pleading eyes made him pause. With a grunt, he tore his sandwich in half and tossed a piece onto the pavement. The cat pounced, devouring it hungrily. Danny stood there for a moment, watching, before turning and heading to the bar. That night went the same as many other: shouts, fists, and a drunk man thrown out into the street. As usual, Danny was sent home early. The bar owners worried that his presence might spark more trouble if the man returned. Tired, he walked the lonely road back to his apartment. But what Danny didn't notice was the quiet set of paws trailing behind him. The same little cat followed, step after step, until Danny reached his doorstep. When he turned his key, he saw it sitting there on the stoop, staring up at him with wide, trusting eyes. For the first time in years, Danny felt something stir inside, a feeling softer than anger, warmer than regret. He sighed, opened the door, and muttered, "Fine. Come in." The cat slipped inside as if it had always belonged there. Days turned into weeks. Danny started buying cat food with the little money he earned. The same rough hands that once threw punches now gently set down bowls of milk. The man who once walked the streets with a scowl now spoke softly to a small creature that answered with a purr. Little by little, the neighbors noticed. The frightening man they once avoided was now seen carrying a tiny cat on his shoulder, smiling in ways they never thought possible. Children who once hid behind their parents now waved at him, and Danny the ex-boxer, the man with a broken past, actually waved back. Despite his rough reputation, despite the mistakes that haunted him, Danny was changing. All because of a hungry stray who had chosen to trust him when no one else would. For the first time in years, Danny's apartment didn't feel empty. His heart didn't feel cold. Danny, the man everyone feared, had finally found a reason to be gentle. And it all began with a simple meow on a lonely night.